3 years ago today, I was sitting in my room, bored out of my mind, nothing to do, you know? And because I was bored, I was going through hashtags to find pictures to steal and put on my account. But as I was scrolling, a post kind of caught my eye. It was someone who was like working on some kind of Minecraft map of the Mushroom Kingdom. And it looked really cool, so I guess I couldn't help but, reply and ask if I could help on it. I didn't really expect anyone to say anything, but I was surprised when I got a reply. Little did I know when I did that, it would put me on a path that changed my life for, well, let's just say it changed my life a lot. I guess that's the only way I can put it. Soon after, I started talking to the person, and the more we did, the more we found out how similar we were. I mean, we looked the same, we lived in the same state, we even had the same issue with our eyes, even though it was kind of like flipped. We started saying that we were like lost brothers, and even now that still stands. We became pretty good friends, and we talked a whole bunch. Over time, though, I mean, our other friends seemed to just move on and do other things, and just, some of us even just went so far as to outright stop being friends with us, and we didn't. The two of us stayed as close as ever. It wasn't like amazing, because we all had to deal. We both had to deal with our own issues and stuff. Relationships, drama, all that bull crap. It was really something. Of course, this only helped us get closer and stuff, but honestly, we started to become a little bit different. I mean, I'd say that compared to now, if you looked at us back then compared to now, you wouldn't even make the connection that we were like brothers at all. I mean, we literally confused the hell out of anyone, you know? How we've you know, stayed like this for so long. Even now, we're still in a major argument, and even if it does blow over, we're still gonna get into more arguments later on. We've thrown insults after insults at each other, and some people do think that's unhealthy, but honestly, I don't care. I mean, that's just how we are. Because when it really came down to it, we've always been there for each other, even when we've hated each other's guts and just pretty much been assholes. That's just how we've always been, and, well, I'm okay with that. I've been told so many times that, oh, he's not a good person, and that he's been like this for a long time, that he's just a cynical asshole who doesn't know anything, who only cares about himself. But the reality is that they don't know how he really is. Because I've been with him for so long that I know why he acts the way he does, and it's not out of spite. Because honestly, he's been through a lot. We've both been through a lot, and that's just how the way he's handled things. I've just handled things differently. That's just how he turned out, and that's how I turned out. He's come a long way because of it. I mean, if you look at him now, he's got a loving girlfriend. He's got loyal friends who stick by his side. He does what he likes to do. I'm telling the truth here when I say he's better than me at most things. So, when people tell me that shit about him being bad or like just, oh yeah, it's not worth being friends with him or you shouldn't be so close, I just tell them to fuck off. They don't know anything about him. I'm honestly proud of him, and I'm doing the same with my own ambitions and stuff. Ever since we've met, that's always been the same about him. He might think at times that I'm trying to outdo him or that I'm better than him, but the truth is that I'm not. I don't ever mean to do those things when I accidentally piss him off. Even 3 years later, even when we're so utterly different in terms of personality, and even in a bit of looks, we're still the same. That same passion that we've both had since the beginning is always there and will never go away. I take that back actually. I don't think he's better than me. And I don't think he's worse than me either. I see him as my equal. Nothing more, nothing less. That does get misinterpreted sometimes, but it doesn't really matter. I'm glad I met him when I did, because I wouldn't be who I am without him. So, to my dear brother, I'd like to say this. Thanks for everything you've ever done for me. You've helped me change from being a fucking weirdo socially awkward mess of a loser. It's someone who's grown to have high hopes and stuff for not only himself but for all of his friends. You were the reason I hadn't given up on everything when, I was going through pretty shitty times. And that's not going to change at all. You know, we've been through so much these past 3 years, and, that's basically just the start of it. There's still going to be so much ground left that we have to cover. And I'm glad to be able to spend it with you and everyone else. It's going to sound kind of cringy for me to say this, but we're going to change this world whether people like it or not. No matter what happens, even if things change and we hate each other's guts, I'm always going to care about you. These past 3 years of my life, honestly, have been the best ones I've ever had. I know I'm repeating myself like an idiot when I say this, but I wouldn't even be close to being where I am if I never met you. So, um, thank you. I'm gonna get better, and I'm gonna get way stronger just because of you. I just can't express that, just how grateful I am, lucky enough to run into you. Thank you, Marcus.